Hello people and welcome to the Go4GW2 Cup. Yeah, Cup is the word. For some reason I didn't want to say Cup, no, but it's the Go4GW2 Cup, it's number 38. My name is Chronic and with me, Jebro. Hi Jebro, how's it going?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? I hope you're well.
Yeah, sure.
Good. And everyone in the chat is very well as well. We have 5 teams for you today. Nice match coming up, first of all. Maybe a name as well you do remember from the past. But yeah, you can check out the brackets if you do exclamation mark brackets in the chat. And you can find out who's playing today.
Yeah.
But first of all, we have 2 teams ready and waiting.
And we can personally tell you 2 of the teams that are going to play. And that is going to be WAG versus sPVP, Wiggy's Wicked Wang Gang, versus the Tactical Terrorists.
Oh yeah, should be exciting to see these 2 guys face off. We saw Wiggy's Wicked Wang Gang coming back last week, I do believe. Tactical Terrorists around as well in recent weeks. Should be good. Okay, people sending me messages in Swedish will not work.
Swedish. Okay. Do you speak Swedish?
Nice. Not yet. Not yet. I'll try.
Are you planning on learning it?
Maybe. Welsh is first, then German.
Well, Welsh. Yep. Welsh is on the top of the
pretty much.
Nice.
I mean, it should be an interesting language. I know we have a large Welsh language following, so it's something I'm thinking about.
Then next up, Welsh cast.
Oh yeah.
Let's focus on the game because we've already got 5 players from sPVP in the arena. And let's have a quick look through the builds while we still got the time. On the blue side, it is sPVP, and we start off with Pillax, 2 Eyes. He's going to play Dagger, Pistol, Thief. That's going to be Deadly Arts, Shadow Arts, and Trickery. Going for the Improvisation, not Executioner. And other than that, it looks pretty standard. Yep, nothing surprising there. Also going with the Blinding Powder. Pretty much the choice now. I think really if you go with Infiltrator Signet that you're running a suboptimal build to some degree.
Well, yeah, I mean you got the extra stuff coming out with that merciful, no, not merciful ambush. The extra stuff, yeah, there you go, meld with shadows. So that's empowering that blinding power even more. So yeah, good point.
Yeah, and you can just well, it's a blast finisher. So just pop down the smoke field. You get loads of stealth. Next up, we have High Lord Euphoria. He's going to be playing Dagger, Celestial Elementalist. We've got the Holmberg rune going on, and of course, Fire, Water, Arcane. No Earth this time, Blinding Ashes, what we like to see. Then the Tino, he's going to be on a Warrior. That's a Hammer, Greatsword Warrior, Holmberg rune. Let's go with the Marauder. So that is Strength, Defense, Discipline. Is that the standard build? Yes, it is.
Pretty much, yep. Some people going for Last Stand, sometimes over Cleansing Ire, but not often. More often than not, they're going Cleansing Ire, Heightened Focus instead of Merciless Hammer. Sometimes people go for Merciless Hammer like Lipion, but yeah, otherwise, pretty much the standard.
And then next, it's Ghost from Paradise, and there we have the other Elementalist. It's a Staff Elementalist, so yeah, that makes more sense, at least in my opinion, to go for the Earth. Because you want to be a bit tanky. We have Stoneheart going on. Other than that, still Vamp Rune and the Celestial and the same traits except for Ether Renewal instead of the Signet that we've got going on High Lord Euphoria. So the double alley coming out. I think we're going to see that quite often in the future.
I think it's quite strong. You know, they're good 1v1ers, they're good in team fights as well. They've got a lot of AoE coverage on the point and on-point pressure, you know, got some CC coming out. I think there's going to be something which, yeah, we might see a lot more in the future. Indeed.
Although, do you think it's going to be the staff that people go for? Not just 2 Dagger?
I mean, it could be. Their staff is good for CC as well, and like, you know, blocking people on points. I mean, that guy, the staff elementalist, is the split. He'll probably be on point on his own, I guess, on their close point, and they're going to send everyone else mid, just in case they do send some burst over, because the red team is looking quite interesting at the moment. I can't see the icons, but I'm looking through their builds at the moment. It should be quite fun to see exactly what they're going to run. But last one is
last one. Never gonna give cap up. He's going to be playing a Mesmer. We've got a Great Sword and then Sword Torch. And he's going for that interrupt build. So we've got Power Block. So no Mental Anguish, which we've seen used to great effect.
Mm-hmm.
To burst people down instantly.
Yeah, we haven't got that line in today. But it's going to be interesting to see how well he's going to do. And I can jump over towards the Tree of Awesomeness. Yeah, Mirror of Anguish, of course, is in the Chaos line, which is not being run today. And normally we replace that Inspiration line for the Mesmer, which we've been seeing on people like Frostball and also, I think CEST played it a couple of times as well. And we're going to jump over to the red team. So let's go first to the Guardian over on their team. What is it? Lemaning?
Sure. Something along those lines.
Remaining. Marauder's Amulet with the Scepter and offhand focus. Meditation Guardian. Let's just double check his build. He's going for Zeal, he's going for Valor, and he's going for Virtues, of course, Indomitable Courage and Absolute Resolution. Get rid of those conditions on the second virtue, of course, as well as Monk's Focus with the Meditation's Healing and whatnot. So pretty much Meditation standard build there, but obviously not with the Hammer. He's going with that Great Sword for the extra burst, of course. Hammer got a bit of a nerf. We've got the DP Thief coming out, Marauder's Amulet as well as Vampiroon over on Raduvria, and he's going to be playing, let's have a look, is he going to be playing Shadow Arts? Yep, he's going to be playing Shadow Arts instead of Critical Strikes and going for Improvisation and Panic Strike, no Executioner. He's going for Blinding Powder as well. Krenox, he's going to be playing the Meditation Guard as well by the looks of things. Pack Rune, Great Sword, Scepter and Focus as well for the extra damage that comes out from that and Defense. And he's going to be going, of course, very, very similar stats on his build. Forced to Play. Sorry. Just read that and I was just thinking, it was forced. That's not very nice. Playing Staff Elementalist, Celestial Amulet with Pirate Rune. Pirate Rune making a little bit of comeback there as well. Sigil of Leeching. If in doubt, go with Leeching. HP and some damage off there, as well as Evasive Volcano. Stoneheart, of course, going for the Earth trait line over in his traits and Cleansing Water. These are very much the same traits that we will see in this build. And then we will go to a maiden meta Sam, who's going to be playing Bunker Guardian, and he's going to be, of course, going with Staff, Offhand Focus and Mace. Tage playing for Shield as well. I think Demon in Cooking Mifa as well go for Shield sometimes as well. Of course, the big change in this build is Feel My Wrath. Instead of going for that renewed focus, the invulnerability and recharge of your virtues is now instead going with this 24-second cooldown shout. So extra conditions converted to boons there, as well as gaining that quickness and fury for everyone around you. Good for downing opponents, good for also synergizing damage and synergizing resing as well. So lots of good stuff coming out from this build, but he will need to be in team fights to be very useful, of course, going for that altruistic healing trait there as well. So that's going to be the blue team. We are done with the teams. Excellent stuff. Let's go.
I already told them to go when ready 3 minutes ago. Let's see what's holding up.
Otherwise, yeah, WTS soon. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. We are under a month now until we get to WTS. Orange logo and TCG from EU going over towards that tournament in Cologne, of course. Should be awesome. And the Abjured, who are playing later today, no doubt, in NA, coming over as well. And the Chinese team. Let's not forget about the Chinese team.
Yeah. The wild card for most people. To see how they do, but now we can concentrate on the first game going on is the quarterfinals of today's Go4GW2 Cup. We've got WAG on the red side, and on the blue side it is TPVP.
Look at the splits here, both quite defensive. Red team looking for a bit of a cross from blue as they start to stealth up and move towards midpoint now as well. Thief and 2 Guardians going to go up to the top of the point now. Sam, of course, going to be that first bunker on node, probably sticking this line of warding up at some point. No, he isn't actually indeed. We are going to see the blue team warrior Tino just nip on point, trying to get some damage, early damage onto the bunker guardian. He's holding out while that stealth comes out from the opposite team. B Tino down to about 4k HP, needs to be careful here as he is in the hammer, so he's able to get a stun off to survive. And actually, we didn't see the focus coming out still onto the warrior. They did try and get down the Elementalist over on the other side, sorry. So we are going to see Ghost going into the downstate here. He's going to try and get res. We can see Time Walk coming out as well. He's going to be raised back up. But Tino, next target, is going to be taken out here. Kronos going for that down. He gets knocked back as well. Good job from the red team to bring these guys down. But in the end, res from Never Gonna Give You Up is not going to come out.
No, it is not. And the pressure coming out from these two Meditation Guardians is just ridiculous.
Yep.
They just
you can't res
jump
in that situation.
Well, they did 2 times, but to not really to great effect. Like they had to blow loads of cooldowns. We saw the time warp coming out. We saw all kinds of abilities just pulled to get people back up. But in that situation, maybe you should have pulled out immediately, or just try and go for the counter pressure. We see the good regroup coming out. Reduvia is trying to make something happen in the midst of all of these enemies. That's really, really risky. A random Heart Seeker from Hilex actually catches him, but they are none the wiser. Reduvia is going to get that decap.
They're being very calm at the moment. Whether or not he knows the Elementalist is there or not is another thing. As he starts to move over, she would see him now. That's not going to be a great fight for him. That's why Tino is also moving over as well. Sam's going to move over to that node, and red team are going to bunker down over on the mine point with Kranox moving towards mid. This is very defensive for the red team. Blue team did lose their cap over on the henge though, of course, which means they have got a little bit of point delay coming in now as well. So now they need to try and pick something up from this mid team fight. We've seen this portal dropped as well by Never Gonna Cap You Up. Sorry, Never Gonna Give Cap Up. There we go, Shadow Refuge coming out as well. Maybe they want to move towards mid, do a little bit of a distraction action, although actually the stealth's quite good, just to try and pick off some kills here on Helix possibly, not on Helix, sorry, on Lemaning. They
need to be very careful with the damage from the Guardians coming up, and the standard move now would be if the Mesmer would move over to that midpoint and try. Oh, runs into the static field, not going to do anything in terms of res, even in danger of going down himself. And we don't see the move over to mid. I would have just expected the portal coming down, Mesmer moving to mid, but that might also be a bit too predictable to just immediately do it.
I think what they were planning to probably do was use that Shadow Refuge to stealth up and use that portal as a bit of a distraction to make them think they're always going over towards mid and just come back over to the point maybe, or vice versa, you know, actually doing that action like you said before. But they actually went for the kill first, which, you know, I don't think really helped them out, to be honest, because red team have kept the 2-cap going for a while. High Lord has gone down in roads just below Keep as well. He's going to be taken out by the Meditation Guardian as they get another decap here. Reduvia going for that decap over on the henge, and that means they're forced to play is going to move over towards mid as this fight here over on the mine does start to get cleaned up. Blue team needs to split between mid and far point for them now, as they're not having much luck at all with their rotations on this map, as red team are just defending pretty well.
No, not really. Oh, and we already have the Vamp proc. In theory, Euphoria actually choosing not to give any support, just leaving Helix on his own, and he barely escapes the AoE damage there on the side of the refuge. Now we have Ghost from Paradise coming in with a bit of support, bringing him into a more safe level of health. Now moving over to that midpoint to get the cap, but we again see pretty much domination from the red team in terms of team fights. What the blue team would have to do is somehow manage to get the rotations in to counter them, because in the team fights they're not really faring well, but all of the rotation thus far have been pretty straightforward, nothing surprising, nothing really quick. We also saw no move over to the beach, but the regroup on the henge to not get a decap in, and then moving just across the keep, or well in front of the keep to move over to mine. So red team just had loads of time to react.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the Thief going over to mid, getting the full cap there as well. He needed to stay there because they started to lose players over towards the henge and not able to maintain their fights on their 1v1s, as Never Gonna give cap up, lost that 1v1 over towards the mine as well versus that Meditation Guardian. So they're losing everything at the moment, and over on midpoint, they should be doing it. They're doing okay. They're able to sustain at present, but Helix has gone down towards, again, in a pretty similar place to before, and he's going to be taken out here as well. And we are going to see 2 players out for the blue team, and all red team members are going to start to converge on this midpoint, try and take this blue team members out. They need to watch out though for the henge as we get respawns coming out as well, which is why Kranox is standing over towards that point. He's just standing off node though, because he can watch from both angles quite well, and also watch that road leading up from beach. So inevitably this is probably going to be a free cap for red, although blue team probably might be able to just break off from it and go forwards and mine. We'll have to wait and see.
Crownix right now trying to get Navigon give Cab up, down. So a good job so far, and I'm surprised that with the offensive nature right now we didn't see a decap coming out yet. He uses renewed focus to get back into the game, get the virtues back, but now the damage could be a bit much for him. Last ability out, Shelter, now he just needs to try and escape, but that's not gonna happen. So he should just try and die up, or just kite it. That's very well done, and now he's going to get the support from the side. I don't think there will be a rest. That could be very dangerous, but it will, because we have almost no coordination to get the downstate damage there. People just went off to the side, left him there, quick rest, and now the counter damage. Oh, Crownix should be able to get some AoE down, and that's gonna be the death of Hylax. He is in stealth, but B-Teamer will basically tell them where he stands. Can the burst be enough, though?
No, he's already used his burst there as well, so I think he couldn't do anything about that. That's the problem with that build, you know. I mean, once you've done your damage, you haven't got much cleave. I mean, all you can do is press 1 pretty much, or bring out your Scepter 2 and put that cleave down on the body, which is why you really have to save that, but I don't think he had that available at the time. To go over towards midpoint now. It's blue team members trying to outnumber over on against Lemaining here, but I don't think this is going to happen. 108 points to blue team, not getting anything at the moment. Red team with the 2 cap in their favor. Guarding well over on their mine point as well is the Elementalist, of course. It's going to be Staff Elementalist, was just pretty much a prediction over an early game. But I don't think we're going to see anything coming out from blue team here as Helix goes down midpoint, as well as Nivea and also Ghost from Par and also the BTino all going pretty low here. Needs to be very careful as red team members start to collapse on this node, and Ghost from Paradise goes into the vamp form and he's going to be taken out here. Not much you can do about that afterwards, unfortunately, as he goes into the downstate. Full dead, blue team being wiped across the map. More than likely, this is going to be a red team game. Pretty solid performance, really. Pretty relaxed, calm, collective.
Yeah.
I think blue team could really do about this. Their rotations, like towards the beginning of the game, was very defensive for both teams, actually. Didn't see many portal plays coming out from Never Gonna.
No, did we see any? Because I saw a couple of
really
setups for the portal, but basically they crumbled under the pressure before they even got to execute those.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a little bit of confusion as well with what they actually wanted to do. Like, they put the portal down over towards mine, and then they started moving towards mid, put their Shadow Refuge down, which was good for potentially either distracting or to go to mid and then move back towards the mine point when it was clear, which is fine. But I think they just got a bit confused and actually thought, you know, they actually had 2 members of the opposite team offering themselves up to potentially be taken out. So that actually completely interfered with that movement. And they were trying to go for the kill. They weren't able to either in the end, unfortunately, because I think Helix went down, actually. But yeah, looking forward to see if they can bring something out on this map. It should be better for them. Really, Mesmer is really, really strong on all these maps, to be honest. I mean, this is one of the strongest.
Just strong in general.
Yeah, I mean, this map is definitely going to be the one that they can definitely bring it out. You know, the portal plays, the Lord Rush as well. Whether or not he's going to change over towards Moa is another thing. Yes, he has, because, you know, if they do want to go for a Lord Rush later on, that's going to be a lot more useful. And I think, you know, Moa is just going to be generally more.
And also considering how much trouble they had getting the entry kill on any of these guys. I mean, maybe Reduvia, because... yeah, he's squishy, but they also didn't really manage to catch him that often. Other than that, you always, like both Meditation Guardians, okay, they're squishy, but they have renewed focus and shelter, and that's already a lot of time that is bought in terms of defense, where you can't really get the quick burst. Like, it really needs to be that instant burst. Engage, first opener, first kill, and then roll from that. Push them into a disadvantageous position from the get-go.
I mean, what they need to do really is use the fact that these Meditation Guardians are bloody slow. If they've not got anyone that's giving them swiftness, so the Ellie's not there and the Guardian, the Bunker Guardian isn't there, then, you know, this is kind of why, I guess to a degree, they were very defensive, because they had smaller areas to go for, and that's why the Thief was going for decaps, and then they put that Mediguard in position so he could defend. There wasn't really a lot of running around the map for them to do, because I don't think that's the way they're going to win the game, because they can't win it that way, because they've got 2 very slow players on their team. So one way is, you know, put them in the team fights with, you've got the Staff Ellie on one node, and you've got the DPS the Bunker Guardian on another node, so you've got swiftness for both players. Obviously they've got pack rune as well, so they will gain swiftness through that, but not when they're like out of combat, you know. So It's defensive, but then when they've got that offensive position, they'll put like a Mediguard there to defend, and then they'll back that up, rather than making the Mediguards move around too much, because they can't catch them, because they're so slow. So they need to use this whole map to their advantage, the blue team. They really need to move around the map quite quickly, and they could. That's one way they're going to be able to win this game.
Okay, let's see if they
Personal
do that.
opinion.
Oh, we've got one player missing from the blue team right now. Coming back. You say, let's go. You're eager to see this match happen. Ning. We've got forced to play already. Having a look out for that Lord room. Are we going to see a quick end to this with a quick Lord rush as soon as they hit 350? Don't have a Mesmer in there for the surprise factor of the Lord rush. But still, the pressure would also make it really difficult for anyone to really counter the Lord rush somehow. Like, you do want to get the high DPS people out of it. As kind of the second thought after maybe stealthing the Lord or something. If you want to counter it, yeah, try and get the kills, but they can just keep wailing on the Lord, get the damage on the Lord and you at the same time.
It's very true. I mean, one thing we saw that was quite interesting, how with that kind of epic Lord rush that happened between oRNG Logo and TCG during the monthly, when the Lord just didn't go down, and there was just tons of bodies in the way. They were body blocking that Lord, and it was on like almost like 1% HP. That defense was pretty crazy. It was pretty intense. Yeah. I think I would say flabbergasted.
Ooh, nice. Flabbergasted. Why not? Seems appropriate. We've got the ready ups going. Both teams are ready to get into the second match. This is Legacy of the Fofire. We're going to start in a few seconds here. Blue team need to make up for something in the first round. Looked really dominant for red. Let's see if we see a repeat performance of that one. On the red side, we have Wiki's Wicked Wang Gang. And on the blue side, it is Tactical Terrorists.
Gets the same blue team coming out now off the gates as well, seeing how well they're going to come out of this map. They're going for a full rush over to far by the looks of it. They're going to have to, they're definitely going to split here, mid and far, which is going to be a good option for them to do indeed. We are going to see red team going for a far point push again. The 3 members stealthed here. High Lord is going to have a lot of problems there. Not sure if he was in Earth Achievement there. He wasn't actually. Very surprised that he wasn't in that. He's going to go in it now as he tries to escape. So actually survived without being in that Earth Achievement. So good job from him. And we are going to go over towards the midpoint as well as blue team start to defend there, losing over on the waterfall. But they are able to get that point over on the quarry now. Forced to play has gone into the downstay. Now they need to put that pressure back onto waterfall. Thief probably should exit that fight just as BTino moves towards midpoint. Probably would be a nice idea.
Yeah, we don't see really immediate pressure on the red team right here. Maybe, wait, really? On Lemming? I don't think that's a good idea. Now we see the damage coming out. They brought him down. That is a lot of cleave going on, and High Legs going for that stealth, and they aren't even aware of it. They're just moving on, gonna get the rest and never gonna give cap up, and now they're moving and trying to split it open a bit. Euphoria on the side getting the decap. We already have the cap coming out, but that decap should open this up a bit.
Yeah, they know where everyone is on the map now, so they can. Tino can move mid, and they just need to keep eyes on the red team now. I mean, blue team are doing a much better job in this map now. They're spreading the fights across the points. They've got that movement coming out as well. Never going to give cap up. There you go. He stealths, and he's going to be able to channel that heal mantra as well when he comes out of that. But as we go onto the waterfall point now as well, Ghost from Paradise. You know, he might be able to get the decap here versus Lemming, but I don't think that's going to be worth it in the end. And Lemming tries to get some damage off there as he moves over towards him and actually ports some in as well. We are going to see the BTino quite low state of HP as well himself, as the Rampage has been used. Needs to be very careful. The pressure comes onto him, and someone with burst is going to jump on him very shortly, and that's exactly what Lemming did. And actually, BTino got out of that quite nicely. Scepter 2 as well, he dodges through to get over towards this node. He can line of sight pretty well on this point now and try and get the decap. Unfortunately, blue team not having much luck in these team situations. They need to send someone over towards that quarry node as well. Really pull them out of this team fight, because they're going to lose this otherwise.
Right now, it looks like they really want to stick to the team fight. They just want to get the kill. I want to get the follow-up afterwards, but they're just wiping all across the board. Hylex barely surviving, getting good support from Paradise on the side. We have the stealth picked up by Never Gonna Give Cap up, but already the stomp on Euphoria. Tino didn't make it to the point again, as well as Cronox brings him down over on the side. No support possible to come over there. We've got Hylex still in stealth, is now gonna get recap of the quarry, but I think Red Team have no reason not to just push into that.
At the moment, Blue Team really, they've got this, they're going for a regroup over on this quarry node. Like, I completely understand that. Blue Team, as they start to respawn, can move. They can move to waterfall and they can move towards mid, but they need to make sure they get something out of this quarry point, get the cap and push out from the point, try and get a kill, probably on Reduvia, not the Elementalist if possible, but, you know, they've moved their bunkers into a great position. I mean, Red Team moved their Staff Elementalist and their Bunker Guardian into position. Reduvia can free cast. They needed to get some focus on the Thief. They weren't able to, and the Thief wasn't being that mobile, you know. I mean, now we've got this 1v1 happening again over towards the waterfall. I mean, this is pretty good for the Warrior. He should be able to do something out of this. I mean, once Lemaning's cooldowns have gone, which pretty much oh no, he's still got renewed focus. He should be able to get something out of this, but Tino isn't able to at the moment, and if anything, he's going to get support from Cronox, which means he's going to be taken out quite soon as well. I'm not sure Tino he's got Rampage available. I mean, he could have just gone for it. We are going to see. Oh no. High Lord is going to come in, and if he reses him up, he's not going to be able to again, like you said before, with the cleave.
Yeah, those two DPS Guardians with the Great Sword just bringing the pain, regaining control of Waterfall, and still being able with Sam to sustain. We've got the Pain Train moving over to mid. Are they looking for a quick kill there and actually splitting up now? Never going to give Cap up, maybe just trying to spot the movement of the enemy team.
It's Blue Team are going to regroup, I think, to a degree. They're just the Elementalists and the Warrior now, over on the base. We're going to look to see those guys team up and move back into the map. Really, I mean, this fight over on Quarry is pretty much almost a waste of time, unfortunately. Forced is forced off point, actually, in that Moa form, of course. And the focus isn't really on him. I mean, we've still got the Mesmer trying to go for him as well, but Never going to give Cap up, has just gone down himself. They've just, you know, completely negated it by taking him out. We've actually got Helix in down state as well. He is stealthed, and Never going to give Cap up. Is trying to get the stealth off himself so he can go for the potential res, but isn't, because Helix is so far in stealth that he's actually going to res himself. And Never going to give Cap up. He's trying to get some damage. Now that's a good move. This is actually something they should have done a lot earlier, drawing the DPS Guardian out, but he brings that whirling greatsword ability out, and he almost takes them both down.
Yeah, both ran into that static field and then are just open to the damage from Cronox. Brings one down. We see the Refuge coming out, goes for the hard res, and Cronox doesn't react fast enough to get the damage, but maybe the follow-up will almost bring him down. That burning hurts, but he manages to escape without really being seen. He could go for, maybe just go through. He should be able to be a bit quicker. The kill on Reduvia, of course, but he gets out on the side. Doesn't really get the follow-up there. And now they're again enabled to get the defense. Now it pods off to the side, but Lemming is prepared for that. He's not that fast, though. So it might take one for him. Tino is keeping him busy, and that's going to be the decap on the waterfall at least. But only the decap. It's going to be contested on neutral with Reduvia coming in. Oh, that's ballsy.
The player called Ballsy, yeah. Next character name, bring it out. Retaliation is one of the things as well that this Blue Team members have really got to look out for. They're actually getting kind of owned by it in different cases. We're going to have a look over on the midpoint now as well. Tino's perspective is he's trying to get some focus on one of these characters here. The Lemaning is going to be the main focus of damage here. He can't get any stun off with that hammer as he just tries to pull out that block heal as well. And again, they're not able to nail down these targets. I mean, the focus damage isn't massively on it. I think the support from Red Team has also shown the fact that they can't bring anything out in that regard. Sam is now over on the waterfall node. Helix is just poking. I mean, if he can keep Sam here, that would be a great benefit. I mean, this is why they needed to stretch across the map so they could slowly take these guys out. This is the best rotation for Blue Team as it is now at the moment, probably.
Oh, and Never gonna give Cab up. It's going to get a very important kill on Lemaning. Doesn't leave him there because, well, we still got two people on the point. Although forced to play would be forced to stay on the point in this present moment. Reduvia maybe would have been in the position to get a quick sneaky rest. We see that coming out from the Thieves, of course, with that minor trade coming into effect in the Shadows line. very, very handy thing. Reduvia being chased by Hylex, but he might as well, he might almost turn it around. Just a question of who engages first and opens the other thief up for a counter engagement.
Just been nice to see this Thief and Mesmer working together a bit more, especially with the portal plays as well. Again, not something that's really been noticed, you know, not really had many portals, nothing significant's come out with these portal plays at the moment. So hopefully we can see something coming out there. And sometimes the movement of the blue team is a bit, they're being very cautious. They're not able to make those instant decisions, and you can't kind of own them. There you go. Defensive portal comes out from never going to give cap up. Now that's a really good move because the elements of this now can regen and even move back through, which is exactly what he's done. Unfortunately, the Quarry cap has been taken. We are actually going to see never going to give cap up going for the 1v1 versus the Medigard versus Cranox. This might be an awkward situation. He's got distortion ready just in case. But I still don't know about this. Oh, nice knockback.
And
Mate, he's going to bring out a ton
might be
of damage.
doable.
Good job. Yeah, it is completely doable. I mean, the problem is he's not got distortion left at the moment. A nice mower there as well. He's going to get the stun mower off. A good move from going to give cap up. And he nips off the point just as he gets the decap.
Oh, that would have been the only benefit that he could have gotten from that. Stay on point, get the decap while Cronox tries to line of sight. Because Reduvia was coming in from the side anyways. And that was like inevitably gonna be +1, which brings him into loads of trouble. And at least from Paradise and never we've got the GG, even a bit before the points tick, but we're so close to it, we just let it run.
Yeah, I mean, I think Blue Team can definitely learn a few things from this game when they watch it back. Just some of the rotate, like they actually started to do a good job of pulling out the Guardians, like the Medigards, just bringing them out of point on their own. You know, the Thief being stealthed up, the Mesmer being like a really nice target for them to try and pick up. So them leaving their support in the team fight and then trying to pick them up, but just making sure they don't get involved too much in the cleave that would come up from the whirling ability on the Greatsword. And then, you know, that they could easily take those guys out. But unfortunately, you know, some of the portal, we didn't see, I mean, we only really saw one portal, which was kind of vital as well. That defensive move from Quarry over towards the midpoint and then the Ellie possibly going back through, but we actually saw the Mesmer going back through and going for the 1v1, which, you know, might have been a good idea as well. But I think Blue Team just needed to fight on 3 points or fight on 2 points and keep one cap. That kind of wasn't maintained for most of the game. Opener wasn't too bad actually.
Yeah, true. They got a quick first kill, which is always handy.
Yeah.
But then once it moved over to mid, and they were actually quite quick onto that midpoint. But yeah, didn't really work out in the end. Next up, however, we have a semi-final going on. It's going to be TCG versus Sizzling Hot Pressure. Yes, those guys are back. I mean, we've seen them in a couple of teams, but not under that name, and I'm not quite sure if in exactly that composition. So, while we try to get those teams in the arena as fast as possible, we're going to go to a quick break. Stay tuned for the upcoming semi-finals.
See you soon.
Welcome back to the Go4GW2 Cup number 38. We have next the semi-final. It's going to be TCG versus Sizzling Hot Pressure, that way around. We're going to go into the game directly because we already have all 5 members in the arena. Aren't they brilliant?
They are brilliant.
Yes.
TCG first?
Yeah, sure. Go.
Let's do a TCG. It looks like we got the full lineup here of TCG, so good to see them coming all out today. Helseth, first of all, he's going to be playing a Shatter build here. He's not going for the inspiration line, so he's going for things like Mirror of Anguish, and he's still going for confounding suggestions, of course, for the interrupt from the third Shatter skill. He's going for Sword Torch and Great Sword. Lipion is going to be playing oh, no, it's not. He's going to be playing a Dagger Elementalist here with the Great Sword, Fiery Great Sword, sorry. He's going for the Fire line there, so Blinding Ashes and also a lot of burning coming out from him. 1v1 potential is great, as well as potential of on-point pressure. Thief, Red 11, is going to be going for Improvisation and Panic Strike over in the Deadly Arts. With the Shadow Arts line, no critical strikes coming out from him. Big Zan going to be going for Engineer He's going to go for soldiers with the Vamp Rune there, Mortar as well. And get some nice Frost Aura out of that, which is also very useful, as well as coming for Siege Rounds and going for Forest Stimulant over in the Alchemy line, as well as Bunker Down to get that crit and also some nice healing for himself. And then we're going to go with TCG Text Beast. So double Elementalist comp coming out here, Blinding Ashes as well. Similar build to Lipion as well. So let's actually double check what rune he's using. Text Beast going for Vamp Rune, and Lipion is also going for the Vamp Rune as well.
Yes, and heading over to the blue team, sizzling hot pressure. We've got Attorney on a Dagger Celestial Elementalist is going for that Earth line, Earth, Water, Arcane. We've got Arzi. Arzi's on a Dagger Pistol Thief. Pretty much the only build we see. Also having that Blinding Powder and Shadow Arts. Tabs is on an Elementalist. He'll be running a Dagger Celestial with a Vamp Rune. And we've got the Fire line in there. So 1 Earth, 1 Fire. Alco on a Warrior. He's going to be playing Great Sword, Hammer build, Marauder Amulet, Strength, Defense, and Discipline. Of course, that very handy Rampage, where we're probably going to see people explode. And then we've got Pock, another Elementalist. 3 of those little buggers. Dagger Celestial. He's going with Strength Rune. And we see the Fire line again. So 2 Fire and 1 Earth.
Taps, that name. I remember him.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Taps.
Some great members on this team.
That was one of the 2 Ellies from Purple Smokers, right?
I think so, yes.
Oh yeah, he's actually representing Purple Smokers. Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Hey. Immediate confirmation.
3 Ellies. That's a lot of sustain around the map. I mean, they could hold 3 points quite well, especially against the TCG comp. This actually could be quite a good comp. I'll have to wait and see how well the portals are utilised by Helseth. No doubt they will be quite good, as normally he is. And whether or not this is the build that Helseth's actually going to use in WCS. Another thing we're going to have to wait and see. Of course, using that Sigil of Generosity, something which is very Helsethian.
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 Helseth-esque.
Yes, I like Helsethian more.
Now we're going to the first game of today's semi-finals. It's TCG on the red side versus HoT on the blue.
Saw a nice blast combo finisher coming out from the guys of TCG. Big Zan's heading over towards far as well. The rest of the team members, Helseth and Red Levin now, they want to pull out that burst against Taps. Taps knows what's going to happen because his Taps actually gone over towards the side of the henge node now. Should be in that Earth trait line. Big Zan's going to lock him down while Helseth and Levin try and take him out, although Levin has gone over towards mid. Apologies to +1 this fight with Lipion because they need to get the 2v2 going. And it's actually three members of the blue team now over on this node. We've got Pock as well, who's trying to put pressure on the point, and this is Alco can go full in. Why is he, Levin is being so gutsy here? Probably more of a mistake than anything else, and gets out. And those situations Levin gets into.
Basically tells them where he is. Arzi ports in, gets a quick auto attack off, but it doesn't catch Red Levin after all. Tabs hold on for quite a while.
We got the Moa coming out from Helseth over on the mine, sorry, forcing Eternia off node and actually leaving Alcor on point, which means that Helseth and Texby can come back and try and take him out. They weren't actually able to get that off in the end, and Eternia survives very well the line of sight and coming back onto the point, as well as Alcor, who was actually being very offensive. It's a good idea from him. Still got his Rampage out as well, so when these guys start to use their cooldowns and when he's probably out of water, talking about Texby, sorry, you might want to pump that up, but Helseth's really got the pressure on him now. Would have been useful to pull out that Rampage maybe when he was on his own. I'm not too sure. He's doing a good job. Look at Alcor. Nice work from him. Arzi going down mid.
The knockback of the rock. No Lion King speech for you. Alcor now on the escape. Trying to maybe go on and get the decap on the henge, but he's not going to be quick enough. We see Red Levin popping in. Alcor just barely just tries to counter pressure. We've got Arzi on the side. Already trying to get this storm, but now it's just going to be damage, and Arzi needs to, well, okay, maybe could have gone for the decap over on the henge, but decides to hang around on mid.
Yeah, I think it's just because Red Levin and also Big Zan are hanging around. Now Arzi's going for it. Zan's going for the henge node as well, knowing that that's exactly what's going to happen. And he's going to be seeing him coming out of stealth quite soon. We've got red team members now trying to +1 fight over on the mine to try and kill Eternia quickly so Red Levin can get back in this fight and then +1 over on mid. Because Lipion is over on midpoint now. Sorry. Yeah, it's Lipion with Helseth who's coming in as well. So they've actually got a 2v2 situation going on over here. So TCG very well rotated around the map. Eternia was forced to leave. Helseth's thinking about coming down as well, although he's actually thinking he was actually on the escape more than anything. Ports back towards midpoint as Eternia tries to put Cleave around that portal. But we did see Texby trying to move up towards midpoint as well as Taps goes down here. Nice pickup from Lipion and also from Red 11. Red 11's rotations are very, very nice at the moment around the map. Taps is going to go down midpoint. We're going to see the 1v1 as well over on the far node between Zan and Alcor. Wondering whether or not Alcor is in Rampage at the moment as it is.
Yeah, and that's going to be quite a lot of, well, out of Rampage already and not looking good for him in this 1v1 as far. If we look at the points, it's 100-0 right now. HoT, I want to say not doing too badly, but the points, really, they don't get the time to actually cap something. TCG is on it, they keep the pressure up. They have the 3 cap right now. This might come to a very quick end, but Eternia trying to buy them a little bit of room with that D cap over on the mine point. Helseth now having an eye on Beach, and he spotted Pork, so they basically know someone has to go to their midpoint. Or they don't. They're just gonna go for the kills over on Henge.
Yep, indeed. Big Zan now that he's going to go into the downstate. He's going to be raised though here. Perfect opportunity for TCG to come back onto Alcor. That's what they do. Response time of Helseth and also from Red 11 is pretty good. And now you can see Big Zan going towards mid. So what he's going to do is he's just going to keep the point contested while Arzi is there, because I think Arzi is going to try and get some damage onto Big Zan here. He's going to tank on point. He's going to put Slick Shoes down. He might actually get the kill on Arzi here. Slick Shoes still very, very awesome move from the engineer, of course, to sustain on the point. And he's just going to hold it. As you can see, TCG moving on the bottom of Keep. Now, if Blue Team can keep them held here, then we're not going to see the support coming out for Zan, but Arzi can't hold 1v1 versus an engineer on node, so they need to get someone up there like Alcor or the Elementalist Taps or also Pock there. As now they start to move towards that midpoint, and Arzi has been brought into that Vapor Form, and look where the Red Team members are. As soon as that low HP starts to be, pointed out by TCG members, i.e. Zan, they're able to bring him into the downstate. And again, Blue Team have got something out of this in the end, but they need to be careful if they do pick up kills, although it's not going to happen. Taps almost in the downstate himself as Helseth starts to come towards the steps, gets the shatter off, and doesn't in the end. And I think Taps is going to get out of here. We're going to see water regeneration coming out from Eternia, and that second ability there to give some healing to his teammate, and we're going to see them disengage here. Problem is, Pock's gone down over on Henge.
How did Pock go down? How did he not get that decap? He was there so far on his own. But TCG reacting fast enough?
I didn't see if there was a portal. Might have been a portal. Hello.
Let's check. Well, we've got the cooldown, but we can't be sure because we didn't spot it. Helseth currently in a 1v1 versus Tabs is trying to buy himself some room, hops onto the scaffolding, and now can just try and re-engage onto that fight. At least keep it neutral, and he's gonna get the assistance soon. Red 11 is on his way. Lippy maybe needs to try and stay over on that midpoint, otherwise
we got Texby down.
Blue Team.
Texby trying to Vapor Form towards Big Zan, putting down the Slick Shoes to block any kind of movement, but Alcor uses that third skill on the Greatsword to get through that and then try and get some nice damage onto Big Zan. They need to be careful though, because they've already lost the mine node over here. So while they're trying to sustain over on this Henge point and win this fight, they're actually losing elsewhere. So anything they've got over on this Henge point, they've not really amounted to much. Although now Arzi is free to move to mid to +1 versus Lipion. Eternius is standing on that point as well. And they should be able to get the kill on Lipion, but the thing is he's going to get support from Helseth, because he's easily going to be able to blink up if Lipion has got any problems. There we go. That he's just blinked up, stealthed, and he's going to come down and probably shatter onto Alcor or Arzi here. He's going to actually get the knockback first of all, and there we go. Comes out onto Eternia, actually. Great target to pick up. Completely unaware of that. And that great stealth comes out. Like that's the benefit of the stealth from the Mesmer, and how the length of that being increased and whatnot.
Now the Blue Team is just struggling to find some way of regaining control of this. They have been in the defensive and trying to just have the team fights as a distraction to get the decaps on the outside, or well, rather noticing that the team fight isn't going to go anywhere, pulling people off, go to the side nodes and get the decaps. But most of the time TCG is just on it. They either don't even get the decap or can't get any points from it because it's camp neutral. So even though we saw some good things from HoT, They're just not getting anywhere.
Not at all. They're not able to sustain on the map, and even though they've got 3 elementalists, their rotations are actually quite slow. And as soon as they start to get an advantage elsewhere, they literally are just not. They're not defending that other point. They're not able to back it up, so they're not able to put the people into the right fights. And oRNG is coming into a terrible situation here, where he's not going to get the res. I mean, you've got Slick Shoes coming out from Zan. You've got HealthSeth there who can burst you down quite quickly. It's not a great position for oRNG to be in, and maybe even not going towards that point to go for the res, and instead going to mid with people from mine would have been a better move for them. While TCG are over on this point.
Oh, but Elko manages in the rampage to get HealthSeth down. But we have 2 people committing to that res, and no AoE cleave coming in to make their life a bit more difficult. The respawn of blue team immediately going towards that Eng node, and now they finally have 4 people in there. Did we see a Moa coming out? Elko almost going down already. We've got the engineer pulls him into the support basically, but that support is not going to be enough. oRNG tried to get the quick res, Pog also, but Pog could pay with his life, and that AoE damage is a bit too much for them to handle.
We need some more bursts on the blue team, like probably a Mesmer or another warrior, or maybe even like a Medigard or something like that. Maybe just a replacement as one of the Ellies would be really, really great for them at the moment, I think. And now TCG looking to finish this off with that Chieftain kill as well, of course, as we've seen them pick up another 25 points. This game will be over in 20 points time. Texby holding over on mid very well as Red Levin coming in for the extra damage onto oRNG there. Pretty much TCG's game at the moment. Most definitely. Arcor does come out for the cheeky decap actually, as they do get that boss kill. Eternia as well, low HP towards the boss, and comes into that vamp form versus Zan, and also HealthSeth probably going down. Oh no, it's got lightning flash there, able to get away. They're not going to go for the follow-up damage, quite surprising. HealthSeth not able to get him down in the end, but we are going to see TCG win this first game versus Sizzling Hot Pressure.
And that is a pretty similar game to the first one we've seen on Little Hell today. The quarterfinals also were quite dominant with, I think, it was somewhere around 100 points, right? For TPVP versus WAG.
Sorry, what did you say?
TPVP versus WAG was similar points, right? Like 100 something,
yeah, pretty
to
similar.
500.
Pretty similar. I mean,
dominating games in the first one, maybe a bit of a better chance on this next map on Fire.
Indeed. We were used to seeing Sizzling Hot Pressure being quite strong when they came in. I remember, they was these epic team members, and we do see a lot of these players playing with other people, like Alcor and whatnot as well, and oRNG, sorry, who have played together. But there's still these, this to a degree, these players who are switching around teams, and people can say they can just put a team in and they can play in the tournaments. It's like that consistency and the rotations and knowing how to play together as a team, which is very, individually, these blue team players are very awesome. They're some of the best top tier players in the game, in EU. And it's totally different when you're in this team environment. You still need to learn that synergy and that cohesion, which is just going to make you even better as a team and work across the map and your rotations wise. I do think 3 elements of this might be a bit too much though. And if they're going to go 3 Ellies, just go all fire. Maybe screw the earth over. Just get more damage. They've got so much sustain there anyway.
It's all dagger, right?
Maybe
want to go, yeah, all dagger, no staff in there.
No, we got focus there for Eternia.
Focus up. Did I?
I don't think that was on the first game.
Yeah, it was, I think.
There we go. He's going Marauder Vamp Rune. He's going for Fire, Air, and Arcane. They're going with more damage. Lightning Rod coming out from him over in the Lightning Tree, as well as Tempest Defense, and also Zephyr's Boon, of course. Our auras giving Swiftness and Fury. Coming in with the damage now, Mr. Eternia. Should be interesting. Still got Blinding Ashes, Pyromancer's Training, things like that, as well as Elemental Contingency and that Evasive Arcane. So, on the dodge, to get some nice blasts, and he's going to be able to might stack as well, so his damage is going to be increasing, but he needs to be very careful. The pickups coming up from HealthSeth and Red Levin, he's going to be one of their prime targets if he's not able to survive.
He's going to be fairly open for those, for being a prime target. We
This is
haven't
risky.
in the past seen the Ellie in terms of damage be really too useful in most teams. Lots of teams have tried to bring it out, like back in the day with the with a couple of builds. If it's staff with fire, which probably is a rather weird idea. Some people like it, and it can
A staff with fire.
fire staff, yeah, fire staff. But yeah, this definitely a bit more solid. But again, those damage allies haven't really seen the most success. Maybe Turner can prove us wrong. Let's have a look at the second game as we start into the legacy of the Fofire. TCG currently up with 1 win. HoT the opportunity to maybe equalize the score. They on the blue team and TCG on the red.
If TCG go for their typical kind of split that they normally do, sending members over towards the far point. Actually, Helsef is going to full on go for it, fire a great sword all the way to the end, and full on offense coming here or from him onto taps with with Big Zan and also Red Levin coming over. This is their standard rotation, and though Zan comes in for the control, Helsef and Red Levin follow up with the damage. Lord Helsef just being a lot quicker on point, very offensive. Taps doing a good job of getting away actually, but just as I say that, he does start to go down, pulling out the fire of greatsword, needs to get back into his base, goes into water as well, and he's not able to get rid of that immobilize. Still trying his hardest, brings out the blinds coming out from the fire line as well,
but
and really Tap's
amid
doing a great
the rampage from Elko comes out, and now he can use that rampage at least a little bit still to just go ham on the Lord Helseth. Out of rampage now, can keep it neutral. We don't see Arzi coming in yet. He might want to get the quick kill, but now we have the reinforcements already, and as soon as he engages, Red Levin has his target. He needs to have a bit of pressure as well. We see 3 people actually moving into that refuge, kind of getting a reset on that fight. Helseth already moving, trying to walk through, but they might have spotted that. No, they didn't, and they're none the wiser. They're just going to leave him open for that decap. Actually, Red Levin pushing through as well, because Pock now reacted. It's still going to be the decap, but now Pock also in a bit of trouble. Red Levin, the pain train, very fast on the engage, and that kill was clean as it gets. They always already need to disengage, basically.
Helsef has got his portal up as well, so this is almost perfect rotation if they do start losing this fight. You know, he can pop that portal up. He's gone into stealth again to re-engage. There you go, stealth portaled already. And just in case they need to escape and they actually start to lose this fight, they'll probably move to mid, you know, because there's a 1v1 happening over there. So TCG are probably already thinking about +1ing that at some point or moving into that position. Although they're doing fine over here at the moment. Although Lipion is quite low himself. Alcor's trying to get the focus onto him, while Arzi is still over on the other side in Shadow Refuge. There's very split apart the blue team at the moment. Eternia is just trying to get the caps on the point. They need to try and stick together a bit more here as Arzi goes into the downstate, and Eternia moves out towards Alcor to give him support there. And they probably... Oh no! Arzi and also Lipion go down. Are we going to see Arzi able to come out of this? Not sure. Don't think so.
Had the port up already, but did not rally. Lipion now just a standard res. Big Zan in stealth. We see actually a lot of work being done by, with stealth here from TCG. Always getting
Red Levin goes down easy.
Resets of the fights. Oh, and it's going to be just about the rally for Elko, but he's so vulnerable right now. He's in a position where a quick bit of burst could kill him easily. The escape doing well. We have mobilized, but he is kiting like a boss right now. Needs to move in, gets the knockdown, but also the support from Pock and Eternia. A little bit. Second burst comes in. Now he's in a position where the rest just can't happen.
He had nothing. He had no more movement skills to get rid of that emo. He had used Earthshaker and all his great sword movement skills, and he just got emoed. And then I think he tried to use his rampage as well at the last second just to survive, but unfortunately not able to there. Oh, Pock actually might get taken out. Red Levin and Helsef moving fast towards the midpoint and up towards Waterfall now as Pock tries to move over towards Arzi here. Again, Arzi is in a 1v1 on Node versus an Elementalist, which is just horrible for him. Able to keep the point for a while, and is actually going to use the use the, I was going to say furniture here.
Furniture.
You know, the furniture on Waterfall. Using the line of sight of the map very well, and Poc's going to survive in a similar way to Taps did earlier. Decap possibly over on midpoint. No, Lipion versus Taps. As Hellstep for Zan and Red Levin possibly coming back through this portal. And the control coming out from Big Zan and those members very good. So it's just Lord Hellstep and Big Zan. Taps is going to be Moa formed here. Tries to get the knockback. He's going to use some cooldowns to get out of that though. Vamp form comes out and Taps again. Maybe he could be used as a distraction tactic here for blue team to move into the map. Although Alcor's going to come into an outnumbered situation. I'm not sure this was the best idea for him, to be honest. He's trying to get the kill on Zan. It's not great. Probably would have been better to just move through or stay at Waterfall.
Yeah, now they can just focus on him. We've got the cap on Waterfall again, and
Textbee's the just distraction.
Alcor making it out of it alive. Just, I mean, we saw the double cap coming out, and right now we actually have the lead for HoT. They're gonna get the kill on Textbee.
But he was the distraction tactic. Yeah,
TCG seems like they're doing some
Nick,
experimental
rampage!
stuff here.
Look at Alcor moving into that rampage in the Shadow Refuge, able to just deter TCG, but they stealth so well. The Big Zan's just gone right through them. They need to keep eyes on these players. We have seen the Elementalists thinking about going back towards Waterfall, but Big Zan's still in stealth. I mean, this didn't come out at all well for the blue team as they pushed out of Waterfall. I mean, they're not able to get Arzi up as well because they've still got too many members from TCG. Helsef again is stealthed up. No one's going for the contestation in the Waterfall either. They just want to get the kills. Blue team's only now starting to move back to the Waterfall. Probably too late as well. And they've left Alcor in the wind. Alcor's just left alone and TCG just jump on him. The distraction tactics and mind games coming out from TCG. Good job.
Yeah. Now they're one man up and can move over to that Waterfall, trying to get the quick kill on Poc after the flash. He's already down. Eternia just trying to run right now. They need a bit of a regroup. They are not too far behind in points. This is still easily doable. They just need to get all members on the map again. With Alcor bleeding out, just going down now, and Poc still bleeding out. It's going to be some time until we see the full roster of the blue team back on the map. And already, Textbee working on that gate. They want to make a quick finish out of it.
Yeah, and the red team TCG are starting to stealth up as well, thinking about a potential move over towards that quarry node. So it's a very quiet and calm and collected move from both teams, both stealthed right past each other here. And now who's going to get the advantage? I mean, Lipion had to nip off point there. If they can get the kill on him, all the better, as Lipion does get the defensive. Oh, we can actually see Red Levin jumping onto Arzi here, unsuspecting of him. We might be able to take him out. Nice blind field coming out as well as Eternia comes up for the defense on Arzi and maybe trying to take out Red Levin here. Textbee moving onto point as well. Swirling winds coming out from Eternia as we see Lipion trying to pick up that point over towards the quarry. The Waterfall is open, of course, as well. Need to be aware of this Lord Rush, like you said before. Only one cap on the map for TCG, and we have seen them. Big Zan going over for the defensive Waterfall as Alcor comes in with that nice rampage. Is going to see Big Zan not able to tank on point, although TCG Textbee is on node now as well. Poc deciding to come with Alcor to try and get this kill on Big Zan, which is probably going to be a good option. The Textbee had to rush to the node, so it was actually a good option by Alcor and then the Elementalists to come back off point. But no, I don't think they could be able to get him.
Good slick shoes. Good slick shoes to alleviate the pressure. Alcor couldn't really make use of his rampage that much anymore. Red Levin trying to dodge away from Arzi. We see the reself. Can he find the engage? They are open. Oh, Lippy on the next target. No, he wants the thief. Random hits into the air. Red Levin choosing to go to the side and help out Hellself with a quick kill on Taps, although he might not even be needed over there.
Yeah, Taps is having a few problems here. Unfortunately, he's going to go down. Red Levin just +1ing for a moment. And then Alcor is out of position now because he was pushing as well. He was just behind, so he wasn't able to help him at all. And he's going to have to push back towards mid. He's got that blind at the moment, removing that by a dodge probably. And then he's going to move over on... It looks like he's just kind of playing with Levin, so Levin can't engage onto the mid node. The blue team need to pull back. They need to try and get something out of this. Big Zan guarding the Waterfall point as well up top. So he tries to get some focus out from the blue team onto Lipion. He does lightning flash up to the top as well. Low Eternia needs help now as well. Low Hellstuff's coming up for the nice stealth. He's going to be able to get that shadow off onto him. Needs to be very careful here. And the midpoint is going to be capped by red if blue team members don't get on node. They need to be very careful about this. Even Big Zan can just move backwards a little bit and grab the cap. because they've got this fight in the bag.
That's a commitment, and look at Pog almost down. They could just turn around and get him, and that's what they're doing. RC also too low. He can't move in. Eternia trying, going down afterwards. This could be a complete wipe. Elko trying to get out of it. We see the lockdown. The damage comes out. Third one down. Tabs escaping to the quarry. He's going to make the best of it and get the decap.
Lord Rush.
And RZ is, now trying to do something against the Lord Rush, but that's not going to happen, I feel.
Just a little bit of a Lord Rush coming out from TCG as a Moa comes out into one of the guards there. They're going to move straight onto the Lord, 50% HP, no worries. TCG's game pretty easily here. The Lord is taken out, and good job to them. They go through to the final. I'll have to wait and see who is going to be joining them. Is it going to be oRNG logo? I'll have to wait and see. Nothing's coming out yet. I don't think the other game has finished. This was pretty quick, actually, in all honesty.
It was, and I think we could actually have a look. We're going to go into a quick break and see if we maybe can bring the last game of the other semi, or if it's already over, we need to get an update on that. And for that, break time. See you in a second.
Yes, sir.
And welcome back to the Go4GW2 Cup. It's the 38th and we're about to see the finals, and it's the classic matchup, TCG versus oRNG. However, this time around we have the full lineup of TCG, but not quite the full lineup of oRNG logo, at least not the one that we're going to see in WTS.
Indeed. No ROM. No ROMage.
No ROM. No ROMage?
No ROMage.
No CD-ROM. I thought we were going to have just a bad nickname off.
Not really, because that was the worst.
No, that was the worst. I hit it with the first try. Nice. And knockout punch.
Hold on, Nick. I mean, it's great to see oRNG logo overseas versus TCG. Shame that Rom isn't here, but we've got Mr. Frostball himself, as you said. A very capable member. He is a member of oRNG logo. Which is something they mentioned back, I think it was during POI, actually.
We can see, we do see him quite frequently. Only thing is we will not be able to see him on WTS.
No, one day, hopefully. It might be a while, though.
I mean, he will eventually have to be able
One day? Well, yeah, one day he'll be 18. That's for sure.
No idea how long that's going to take, but it will happen. Inevitably.
Yeah, a few years. Let's have a look at the oRNG logo.
That's how time works.
Well, yes, it is how time works, indeed. So random today. Okay, so Big Dagger elements of this being played by Freylina, Hobrock Rune, going for the Earth trait line. Then she's going to be playing Dagger as well, but he's going for fire, so he's the more damage-focused elements of this. Of course, there's still damage coming out from Freylina, but Freylina can be on node more, taking that pressure, of course, if he is in a single fight, versus, say, a push from Halsef and Red Levin, and even Big Zan to a degree as well. DP Thief coming out from Syndranir here, who is going to be playing Shadow Arts build rather than Critical Strikes, and he's going to be going for improvisation with that Panic Strike, as well as Sleight of Hand and whatnot. And then we're going to see Frostball playing. Let's see what he's going to be playing. No inspiration line. So probably more likely than not, he's going to be playing Full Shatter. And he's going to be going with PU, of course, so it gives extra stealth and those extra boons coming out as well as Mental Anguish. And he's going to be using that Mirror of Anguish as well. So that Mirror of Anguish is very nice indeed. And then confounding suggestions coming out over in that domination line. In the interrupt, he's going to get a stun, so he can coordinate his some other burst as well, which comes out from his Diversion Shatter as well. You know, stealth is pretty nice in this build. You know, PU, very, very beneficial indeed.
Stealth, that's not bad. And we've seen in the last game TCG making various uses of that stealth feature in the game. You cannot hide from what you cannot see.
Indeed. And then finally we have Tage. And I think Tage working in conjunction with a Mesmer is very nice, actually. Like, this setup feels quite strong. You know, double Ellie, 1 Earth, 1 Fire, a Thief Mesmer combo, and then you know you've got the you've got the Bunker Guardian. I like this combination of team. I actually think this is, you know, something which we thought was going to be maybe in the main meta a while ago. And then on the other side, obviously we've got the same, pretty much same lineups. Just double check Lipion.
Big Zen.
Double Ellie, but the engineer, you know, is separated into. Sorry, the engineer instead of the Guardian, you know. But so the Guardian gives support.
Although Big Zen also going for that very tanky build.
Yeah, he's very tanky, but offers up lockdown rather than team support in terms of condition removal and whatnot as well. So, well, he can obviously with his heal, but it's not really what he's going for. But and obviously, you know, he's got mortar kit as well. So, you know, we'll have to see how well this works. I don't know, this is going to be something that maybe oRNG Logo think about using in WTS, going for double Ellie more likely than anything. But you never know, maybe sticking that Mesmer in as well. Frostball. And Tage, of course, running that Bunker Guardian, going for that Feel My Wrath. The quickness and the fury. As well as being an extra shout, 24-second cooldown being very beneficial, of course, not only for the utility that it brings, but also being another shout, removing conditions and whatnot. So we're just waiting for these guys to go. We ready? Smiley face.
Smiley
all
face.
Good. Smiley face. So, how's the chat? Hope you're all well. Good to see you. Very good to see you. He's going to Gamescom. He's going.
I am.
Let us know in the chat. Oh, Nick's going. Better be going.
Yeah. I kind of have to.
Oh, yes, of course.
Otherwise, I'm not being paid. Yeah.
I like that little twist there.
Okay, but now let's focus back on the game, because we did manage to get all people to ready up. It is the classic matchup in today's finals of the Go4GW2 Cup. On the red side, we have the Civilized Gentleman, and on the blue side, it's oRNG Logo. Indeed.
Well, 4 blue team members are going to be actually everyone's stealth. Then she's going for far point push. Very Phantom-esque back in the day. Haven't checked to see if he's doing this a lot more recently. I mean, he is still doing this to a degree. Blue team members are now still stealthing up towards mid. This is the death for Lipion for sure.
Ooh,
although he lightning flashes right up top. Good job from Lipion. Awesome movement. Doesn't lose anything out of that fight at all. Blue team will be pushing right onto the node though.
That's it. Although no, we actually had the Armor of Earth as well. So two cooldowns out of that. Now can go for the re-engage and just not losing a player. Out of that engage, 4-man stealth engage and making it out alive, that is definitely worth something. Now Lipion back on the point, is keeping it neutral still, but the pressure could get to him.
Yeah, just updraft there onto him as he is put down on the floor. You're going to see a line of warning as well brought out by Tage, which is going to separate some of the action, but another rotation from TCG is going to put Mesmer and Thief over towards the mine node. No one coming out for the support of Denshi, but look, very TCG-esque with the portal from Frostball over towards mid, and Denshi's back up. They're not going to port back through. No one did move. They were thinking about it, I think, but in the end, I think that's probably a better rotation, moving over towards the henge. But are oRNG Logo fast enough to get back over here? Freylina is solo at the moment versus Helseth. Look, he's all over the map. Again, with Zan in this situation, needs support coming out from Denshi. Denshi and Freylina are going to bunker down on this point. Really good from them. And Tage, really, really good movement now. But oRNG Logo can use that Mesmer Thief combination to move over towards the mine and take down TCG Texby. They're going to split here because I've actually seen Red 11 go for the decap at mid, which is going to negate that 2v1 situation for oRNG Logo, which is a good move from TCG. Very controlling of the map again.
Oh,
that's ultimate forcing them to move.
Yeah, the Thief 1v1 could be pretty essential, but we see the +1 already.
Helseth.
So Helseth always there for his Thief, and that's going to be the end of Syndra now. I see no possible way of him getting out of this one.
Nope.
Tries to get the port, but afterwards the damage follows. Frostball has to disengage from that mine node. It's not going to get a sneaky decap. Now we have a couple of people going into an already outnumbered situation. If we see Texby coming in, that would open up the possibility for Denshi to just make use of the Fiery Greatsword, and he's going for it anyways. He's saying, I'm faster, you can't get me. Or does he just want to go for that 1v1?
I think actually, you know, in that situation with Frostball and also Syndra, they should have just gone towards the mine. 2v1 that situation very quickly, just given up mid completely, because they could have just rolled back over toward mid, although they would have needed to have held mine for the respawn of that Elementalist, of course, as well. And Denshi versus Texby needs to be the setup for something, which is why Syndra is coming in for the quick 1v1 to try and take Texby out. So hopefully they'll be able to pick up this node and come back into the game. But at the moment, TCG are doing a fantastic job on this map. We can see Freylina in a lot of trouble here as well, as he tries to come back into the node just as Tage comes around the corner. Frostball coming into the point as well. He's going to offer up a ton of damage as he comes up in stealth. As you can see, Halsef and Red Levin moving back over towards the mine as Frostball moves portal-wise back over towards the roads, just below Keep now. And nothing. They got the decap over on mine though, Orange Logo, so it's not too bad.
They almost would have had the full cap, but Red Levin just being the hero in the last second magic to get on point, and now it's just a 2v2. And Denshi looking very open right there. Loads of damage coming out from Texby, and the Red Levin just on the side with a couple of auto attacks from that short bow. But sometimes that stealth auto attack immobilize is just what you need.
Orange Logo, they're not getting anything on this map at the moment. They have rotated fully over towards the mine. I'm not sure if they came through that portal that Frostball left, but they decided to leave that henge fight in the end. So they're out rotating Big Zan at the moment. And when Big Zan's not involved, they're actually doing quite a positive job. You know, here over on Texby, they put him into the down state. He should go down here. No support can come out from Helsef at all, as we see the rest of the players moving. And now, as that happens, look at Denshi. He's gone right over towards the henge, just as Zan is moving out. Now, Orange Logo can push mid, and they can hopefully outnumber that for themselves. They will be in a 3v2 situation. Tage, unfortunately, though, is stuck on node versus Red Levin and Helsef. There's no support for Tage.
TCG was already expecting the move afterwards to mid. They had two bunkery people on there, and right now Orange not really getting anywhere, and were forced because they already committed to that move on the midpoint to just leave Tage there to die, and that's gonna hurt their team fight ability on mid. Having him in mid and maybe just sacrificing the third point there could have been a bit better. Opting for the retake of the point instead of keeping one, if you then get the positional advantage out of it, probably worth it.
Just waiting for Big Zan. Just comes out of stealth there, plots a ton of grenades onto Frostball, forces him up top. His rotation is very interesting. Look at Big Zan now moving back, potentially looking at the mine there, and also trying to regenerate as he moves back. Frostball has been taken down up the top of the keep as well. Orange Logo not getting much out of this at all. He is going to be raised here and moving back onto the mid fight here as well. But look, they need to keep an eye on Red Levin. I'm not sure exactly what's going on from Orange Logo at the moment. There's the coordination. They seem to be losing their targets quite easily. As soon as Frostball went down, Red Levin started to move because they were already trying to get him up. But the thing is now, as Red Levin moves out of the fight, as well as Lipion as well, they are able to take Big Zan out. They need to move over towards Henge like now to make sure that their point is contested, or at least someone's going there for the 1v1.
They're not going to get the contestation, and they're now actually moving on to that. They killed Zan, so Zan after the respawn is going to run into that mine node. So I'm not sure if you might want to go for the henge in that situation instead.
I mean, Tage could go henge now, but the thing is then Red Levin can go mid, and it's going to take them half a year to kill Texby. Red Levin's going to push them mid to possibly get the decap behind Tage, because Tage is now running over towards the mine node, and now Red Levin can move. We've got the portal coming up, although Frostball's just ported through. Oh god, he was so low and actually got taken out by Red Levin there. Now someone needs to pop through that portal to make sure they keep that mid node, but they're not able to because they're trying to res Frostball here, and his portal is definitely gone. And also Syndra going in for the res. So risky in that alleyway of death. Slick Shoes on Frostball as well is really going to cause them so many problems. And Free Cap comes out for TCG as well, as Helsef starts to push now on Tage, and he's not got his Mara up, so I think we had to attack him down too quickly. Syndra pushing to mid as well. Helsef and Big Zan are actually going to go for a boss kill here, as they've got the free cap, so they're really focusing on pushing ahead in terms of points. Denshi versus Texby over on this henge node feels a bit lackluster, as if, you know, it's almost a complete waste of time until they get Frostball respawning, so they can now 2v1, but also Freylina is moving towards that point, so Freylina could go towards mid to help Tage, because they know that they've killed the boss now, and Helsef is moving around the back towards mid, so Tage needs to be careful because Helsef's Moa is probably up. 6 seconds left. He's in stealth as well. They're going to Moa Tage and take him out. No one from Orange Logo is moving onto this node now, and I don't even know if Helsef needs to use his Moa, to be honest, because there is no one from oRNG Logo helping. I mean, he's distracting at the moment, which is fine.
Yeah.
But are they going to get anything out of the mine? Look at the rotation from Big Zan is on point. He's tanking that node versus 2 players. And now Helseth can move back towards mine, and they're going to pick up the mid. This is a great rotation from TCG.
Helseth is really making the most out of that portal. He is everywhere on the map at the same time. There's just no breathing room. In theory, it was good intel. I mean, they lost the boss, they lost the points to TCG, but the boss being killed also gives you intel on which members are where. Or at least that some members are over there. And they didn't really make full use of that.
It's just like, you know, I mean, in a MOBA or something, you know, it's missing one mid or missing whatever mid. So you know someone's missing from that situation, and if you can see, you've got eyes on 3 other people, and then you know Zan and Helseth aren't there, so they're going for a boss kill. You know Helseth is possibly stealthed somewhere around the map. I mean, Tage was going to be that obvious target. I mean, he's alone. Just with the portal off cooldown. Did Helseth even use it? He didn't even need to use it in that situation. So they could have even killed him faster, but they didn't need to.
Right now it looks like this is pretty much over. Maybe oRNG Logo with the last stretch effort that Frelina doing well versus Helseth at the moment. Tage coming in from the side. That's a... Okay, do they just plan on suckering TCG into that fight and bunkering down? But Helseth is having none of it. He sees the second tank approach and just leaves. And that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's just obvious to leave that situation, you know. I mean, doesn't need to stay in it. Zan can stay there. They use... the engineer or the elementalist sometimes in the situation where they can just, pardon me, distract. And now the portal comes out. Helseth puts Texby in that situation, and now, you know, he's gone back over towards mid. But they can sustain. He can come back through, regenerate himself as well as Zan, so he can carry on. That portal is not only about, you know, transporting your troops across the map, it's about sustaining 2 caps at the same time.
No,
sustaining your team.
I would have thought he tried to keep track of Levin, but they pretty much lost him. Helseth also now in stealth, moving onwards to... Well, he doesn't even need to go there because that's an uncontested decap there. He could now try and go Denji half down already. Will try and keep it neutral because they have no other chance. They need to pull some magic right now, and they need to keep everything neutral.
Oh, just about gets on point. He's going to die quite quickly, especially look at Levin and Helseth on this node now, as well as Texby coming in for support, and Frostball's there as well, but Denshi's pretty much gone, unless he can get out. He's doing a good job of surviving at the moment, but as soon as he gets in mode and Vampiring towards mid, and again that survival that comes out. Good job. And again, yes, that's a great rotation.
Yeah, but we now have Tage again in the situation, but the +1 comes. Frostball now for the damage as well, so he's not left there to bleed all on his own after all. Frostball might be in a bit of trouble right here on point. He's just trying to get a bit of chaos into it. Maybe catch someone out on the side.
I thought he was going for a stealth on cooldown. I thought he was going to go for a stealth. Sorry, my bad. It wasn't. Yeah, he didn't have it on cooldown. Would have been a nice move there over on that point. It's a good rotation, though.
Off cooldown.
Yeah, sorry. But that's one of the better rotations for oRNG Logo in terms of their portal work. Frelina versus Big Zan is also a good matchup over on the mine node as well, although Zan can get the decap. Denshi versus Lipion. Now this is better for the 2 elementalists because it's contested at least, so no one's in a really losing situation there unless we could see Red Levin and Syndranir coming in, and whichever thief obviously is on the back foot of that, obviously that team will take this map. Syndranir doing a good job of line of sighting down the side of the steps whilst he's stealthed out, which means Red Levin can move over towards that point. We're going to see Portal coming out as well on this node. You can see Frostball and also Tage moving back over towards mid. They need to keep that decap point on Henge. The problem is we've also only got 3 minutes in the game. Yeah, so just as oRNG Logo come back.
With them approaching they need 5 more points and then they can just go for a boss. They are in a position of that, but
this
TCG
is the problem, isn't it?
Basically, yeah, they wouldn't have had to rotate with 3 people towards Henge, but they can. They don't need to do anything else.
They don't need to do anything at all. I mean, they can literally got the bosses up, and probably by the time oRNG Logo come back, the bosses would have popped up again anyway, although we've not really got enough time for that to happen. Tage says the GG is pretty much over, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen. TCG taking the first game in a pretty strong performance. oRNG Logo starting to make a bit of a comeback towards the end. but not able to, unfortunately. Had a good rotation between mid and that henge point when we saw the rotation of Tage coming into the point. But again, I think, you know, Tage left in some situations where he wasn't able to be used and utilized, and that's very purposeful on the point on the side of TCG.
Yeah, but
not as much.
You also have to say, I mean, he of course gives the support, but one of the key factors we've seen thus far with the Feel My Wrath Guardians is that they are ridiculously strong at rezzing. But we have seen that even with that capability, they had a lot of trouble to get some of these rezzes. It was just good downstate pressure, good interrupts coming from the side of TCG. Nice coordination, just snap on the spot, right time. Tough to do anything against it.
Yeah.
So Tage, in a situation where he tries to keep people there for as long as possible and tries to give the rest of his team the outnumbered situation on the rest of the map.
We're actually going to see a team change here. Frey's going to bring out the Warrior. So we've got a bit, well, you know, kind of equal mobility, I suppose, really. Maybe even a little bit more coming out from the Warrior, as well as the utility of Rampage is going to come out. So that's going to be a bit more focus, damage and burst coming out from the team of oRNG Logo, trying to end these fights a little bit quicker. Of course, when Syndranir and Frostball aren't around, those fights aren't ending very quick at all, so they bring out some more direct damage, of course. And, you know, he's got some nice survivability with this build, so we have to wait and see what if TCG are going to come out with an answer for this. I don't think they really need to, because they're in control. It's really oRNG Logo. They need to really do something about this game at the moment as it currently stands. Now, actually, to a degree, I think we actually saw oRNG Logo defeat TCG when they had Frostball on their side before.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Frank wasn't playing in early.
Not sure.
Not full TCG.
Not sure it was the entire roster.
No, I don't think it's the full roster.
So yeah, having some trouble. But if I remember correctly, the move Frey moving from Elementalist over to Warrior on Fofi is something they've done a bit in the past. At least once. I'm pretty sure I remember it once. Just as a standard measure, even if they won.
I mean, at the moment, if you're in TCG, you've got to be pretty positive about how this is going for you at the moment.
If I had a quick glance in the chat, yeah, Hillseth is quite confident.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, he's always a confident man.
What else?
Would you expect anything else from Hillseth, really?
Not really.
I do not think so. Even if he was losing everything, he'd still be confident. So, there were no ROMs today either, so, you know, that's a big thing when it comes to the oRNG Logo team and him being very much about, you know, holding the morale of the team and pushing them forward. Got people like Freylina being like the strategist, I guess. But, you know, TCG, even when they were losing situations, they were still thinking ahead. Like, you know, towards that mine fight when they pushed mid, which happened a couple of times, obviously, but there was a specific time where, you know, we really felt like they were losing that, but as if that was a forced situation so they could do a better rotation later on, almost forcing a losing fight so that oRNG Logo are out of position so that they can then move on back onto the offensive, and they controlled that whole game. And oRNG Logo only really came back into it towards the end. Well, you know what, where probably TCG thought more often probably that they were actually just going to win that game, and they just got a little bit complacent, but still.
Yeah, but that often happens, like these last minute clutch moments, they quite often are the result of the winning team basically saying, yeah, we've got this, we don't have to pay attention that much anymore.
Yeah, to their confidence.
Just do some stuff.
Can't do that in WCS though. You know what happens to the Abjurd when that happens?
And I don't think anyone will really do that with a prize pool of 50k on the line.
I would be very surprised if they did. Should be very good at WCS. Looking forward to seeing that and what the place is going to look like as well, the arena and whatnot.
Yeah.
Should be awesome. Gamescom, probably the biggest, one of the biggest, if not the biggest gaming event in the world. The most awesome, anyway. Now, I've been to a fair few myself in the past year.
I'm pretty sure it's the biggest. At least in terms of not viewers, people that attend it.
It looks the most, I don't know, awesome. So if you're going to Gamescom and you've never been before and you're coming on the Saturday, yeah, then, you know, you're in for a treat. Not only are you going to see Guild Wars 2 sPVP in an awesome situation, but you're going to also be at, like, this awesome gaming event as well. So it's really going to be a fantastic day. Not only for Guild Wars 2, but for yourselves. So it'd be nice to see you. If you see anyone, if you see any of the players or us, make sure you come and say hello, of course, and that's 3 weeks in the future. I'm pretty damn excited about this.
Damn, it's approaching fast. But even if it's approaching fast, maybe we can try and get our heads back into this game.
Indeed.
Did you think that TCG is going to go with such an aggressive far push again, like we've seen before? I mean, I don't think HealthSeth is just going to say, "No, I don't need stealth. I'm just going to go," which might bring you to a false sense of security, just because, okay, it's a Mesmer 1v1. Why would he not be in stealth if there are other people around? But still, it looked a bit improvised. Are they going to do it?
Yeah.
We're going to find out in a second.
Confident, maybe.
Yeah. We're going to find out in a second as we go into the second and potentially last match of today. TCG on the red side. They can win it all right here, right now, versus oRNG.
We've seen the 3-man push again. 2 early sustaining on the side and midpoint here. And she again in his typical position. Now, HealthSeth and the team probably know where he's hanging out. I mean, Zan's going to jump onto Node. I mean, the good thing about this is Zan is looking straight at him. He knows where Denshi is.
But he can now move on to the point. The pain train didn't want to stick around long enough to make him come out, to have the cap, and now he can get the contestation, while the damage moved on. So it's basically the situation he wanted, and that strong far push didn't really benefit them that much.
Oh, look at the pull towards the waterfall. Tixby went down over on the flipping, over on the quarry, and Orange Logo were probably thinking very positively about that. But that portal left from HealthSeth earlier on was a fast movement towards mid. Now, if Denshi survived this, which is very, very likely, actually, because Tage pushes forward with the focus. Although he is in the down state now. I can see the pick up of Red 11. But look at Frostball's portal as well. Very supportive. Brings through Denshi. He's going to res. They're going to both go back through that portal very quickly over to mid. Frostball's going to stealth up as well. Moa on Frey. He has to be very careful here. Does try to jump away that second ability. Tons of damage comes out onto him. They need to be so careful. Body blocks coming out from Tage, as well as that block from the mace number 3. And good job in the end. Orange Logo survived that engage.
Support there. Like a lot of people probably see CC as an aggressive tool. No, you can also help your teammates out without just straight up healing them, but just keeping the rest busy. And now Syndra with a good damage on Lipion. We also saw Frostball from the side. Tage with the insta block stomp doesn't quite get it. We see the refuge coming out. Oh, and Lipion actually outside of the refuge. Second attempt found that res, and the committal pays off. TCG back up and alive.
But HealthSeth, they've gone for the anti-damage on HealthSeth. HealthSeth had to actually probably, you know, use a lot of damage, use a lot of cooldowns to try and get Lipion up there, or assist. We actually can see the stealth res coming out from Levin. No one saw Levin approaching, and the watch of the HP. Orange Logo, not able to get these guys down. Like you said about the last game, they're not able to finish. And now Frey, nice decap.
Important decap. That is going to give them some room in mid to work with, while Zan is forced to stay on the point and get the recap. HealthSeth may be opening himself up, but we also have Taxby down on the side, and there, why did he even push that far? He's a bit out of position and not going to get a rest. Red Levin could try and stealth through. Denshi has the same idea, forcing him to just concentrate on that mid fight.
They don't know where HealthSeth is at the moment, so Denshi was going back towards. Good job, and they need to make sure they don't lose this waterfall. This quarry node. Denshi is aware that HealthSeth is trying to push. No res coming out from Lipion. Red Levin quite low himself. Yes. They're going to get the res? No, why not again?
Not paying attention right there. Although, I mean, he was stealth, so they didn't see the HP bar.
They know he's down.
Oh, yeah.
They're nowhere. I mean, maybe he's... sorry, did he stealth? Did he get stealthed on the res from Red Levin and then he moved? I didn't watch that. I didn't see that.
Sure. Yeah,
might have been the case. But now they're on the opposite side of this. I mean, HealthSeth's low himself, so is Frostball, and we get some nice pull comes out from Big Zan. A nice block comes out as well from Tage. Nice body blocking from him again. In a difficult situation, we've got Portal up as well. I'm not sure if Frey needs to be careful. It's an awkward situation. Does get immobilized there, sorry, stunned. And we see the Shadow Refuge coming out as well as Freylina is dodging for his life. Using that third ability on the Greatsword to try and get past Big Zan, possibly get rid of a incoming immobilize as well. Need to be careful here, as also Red Levin stuck inside the Shadow Refuge. Nice knockback comes out from Frostball. Oh, able to get down Red Levin.
No. We've got the Vamp proc. He's trying to move into a better position, but now we need to see real strong cleave. That's not going to pay off. Frey almost dying the attempt to go a bit aggressive. And now he is... Whoa, he really needs to kite, and they might just try and turn it around again.
He's dead. Ah. The magnet pull. Are they going to get the res? Is it quickness res? No, pressure. Oh, Frey comes back up again. And Orange Logo, at least they're on the resing. They're not able to down sufficiently at the moment, but they're able to res. But the thing is, everything is on this team fight. And actually, TCG, surprisingly enough, not moving out of this map to use that to their advantage. And the cleave comes out from Orange Logo, keeping Helsef low. If they commit too much to that res, they'll lose this fight even more. And now Orange Logo can push over towards that waterfall, but they need to watch out for the quarry. But look at Red Levin. He's moving over to the quarry already. In a losing situation, 4v5, they want to take control of the map in this way. They need to gang up on Lipion and just take this man out fast. Yeah. But over on mid, they're still sustaining this fight.
They can't leave Texby right here. He's escaping with a 5 greatsword and he's doing well. The kill on Zan would also be a possibility. I don't think Texby could get the rest on his by his lonesome. But Zan doing a good job of the escape.
This is amazing. They've not got anything out of this. Orange Logo have actually lost out in this situation. Although it took a while for it to come through. Frey brings out the Rampage, takes down Texby. Big Zan is low on HP. They need to follow up on a kill for him, but they're not going to. He's so low. And at least there's 4 men on the map now. But TCG still bringing back the points into the game. And slow movement from Orange Logo. No one picking up the movement of Red Levin in that Havoc kind of chaos over towards mid really cost them that quarry node. They need to try and pick these points up now.
I mean, we were both surprised that TCG and Orange Logo stuck to that team fight, to that all-out 5v5 team fight, completely ignoring the side
More surprised about TCG.
For that long, yeah, probably more TCG. But then as soon as the kill basically gave them the cue of, okay, now we're gonna move. And
look at Helsef and Red Levin over on the quarry, stealthed up, ready to move in. Although TCG, Texby and Zan are up. I bet you are they going to get both of these guys up here?
Oh, they will. One. They will.
Blink to the next. Zan is up. A big mistake from Orange Logo there. They're not taking him out, and they reverse it onto possibly Denshi there. And we're going to see the Moa coming out as well. Orange Logo, luckily enough, are going to survive this. We see a portal drops there as well. I do believe that was Frostballs. He comes back into this fight here as he was in a bit of trouble. Got to be careful here to take out Sinjin. He might pop back through that. Not too sure he's going to.
Orange Logo doing well in the team fights, but it's a repeating story, what we see in this matchup. Of somehow, TCG just with the rotation coming out ahead and losing team fights.
I mean, at the moment, we've actually seen Texby move into mid now. In that 2v1 situation, Frey and Syndranir versus Lipion, Syndranir could have gone for the decap over on Waterfall, pulling TCG away from this quarry node and moving them back into mid. I actually think that would have been a nicer move from them, and they could have 1v1 there. And, you know, Frey could have held 1v2 on that midpoint for a while Syndranir went for that decap. So that would have just been something nice to see there, because TCG are now picking up the advantage on quarry, and then they could have bounced off that midpoint, and Orange Logo could have held over on Waterfall closer to their respawn, and maybe held the map a little bit better that way, but there wasn't that such movement there.
Can Syndranir maybe, are they going to go for the kill, or are they going to go for the decap? We saw Frey trying to move over to that Waterfall point, but immediate reaction there coming out from Lipion. Now they're just focused back on that fight.
He's just got the portal up at the moment. He's just put the portal down, so he wasn't porting in or out there. But he's thinking about it. In a minute, Texby going to go through the node. He's in vamp form. He's going to go down here as well. I don't think we can see any committal from the rares. Whoa, Red Levin is trying to do something. Actually goes down here. And we can see Frostball following up. Now, this is the follow-up we needed to see. And Big Zan's going to disengage. Are we going to see the follow-up kill from Syndranir and from Frostball here? This is where that combination is really good against someone like Big Zan. Even Denshi moving towards that point now. So full-on push from oRNG Logos. We've seen Freylina now moving that away from that midpoint. Not sure that's going to be massively advisable, but it's just poking Lipion. We're going to see TCG Texby popping in as well. But now Frey is going to be in a 1v1 situation with Lipion. Lipion actually trying to be a bit cheeky for maybe the decap there and the kill. We're seeing Big Zan down over towards the quarry point, as well as Helsef just moving out of that point now. Probably going to +1 mid for the regeneration there, as they know they've lost that fight. TCG Texby though also needs to be careful. He goes into the downstate. Tenshi going to stand on node. And actually, we can see the portal.
Yeah, portal coming out to assist in mid. Frey had a little bit of trouble. We see Tage jumping in from the side. And the pain train is back again. 2 people still down. They might get the follow-up on Red 11. No, those 2 stealth up. Someone needs to go to the quarry. We still have people at the quarry, but are they going to be fast enough? They're already moving towards that gate, and we're at 336, so just that midpoint. Tage staying at the midpoint. This will be a successful Lord Rush. I can almost see no situation where this goes wrong.
Texby and Zan, remember this happened the Wednesday in the past. I mean, phrasing Rampage, that's great. Have they got the enough interrupts there? Oh god, this is going to be one of those situations.
Not as fast as I thought, but still fast enough. That is the game. oRNG Logo managing to pull it back and bring us to a 1-1 scenario where the third map, which is going to be Battle of Kylo, will decide it all.
Indeed. Maybe should have hyped that up a little bit, but I was actually ended a lot sooner than I thought it would.
Yeah.
And then TCG...
I kind of thought, wait, okay, this is really, like, TCG isn't reacting fast enough, but then, yeah, it was a bit faster than I at first thought. Thought they might manage to do something in terms of defense. But yeah, that damage on the Lord is hard to negate. You really need to be in there earlier than the people who Lord rush to get the successful defense at the moment.
Good movement. A lot better movement from oRNG Logo on that map, taking advantage in situations. I think TCG maybe realised, I mean, there might have been an ulterior motive. They can sell it all they want for that fight at mid where they stuck there for so long. But there was not a beneficial thing for them to do in terms of the way they play Guild Wars 2 sPVP. So I think, you know, maybe... there was a bit of an error there. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out the way they planned it to. I think they could have come back in that game, you know, but oRNG Logo forced to go for that Lord Rush. And this is the map where rotational play is going to be so... it's very important in every map, of course, but, you know, there's no comeback mechanic. There's no mechanic to push you into that next map. This is the last map of the game, of the series, sorry, and we are waiting to see what oRNG Logo are going to bring out. Frey's still playing on the Great Sword Hammer Warrior, but he's going for the Rune of Strength rather than Pack. So it's going to be interesting to see how well that works for oRNG Logo. Of course, still same setup from TCG. Helsef playing Mesmer, of course. Elementalist TCG, Texby, Lipion, Dagger Ellie, as well as Big Zan on Soldiers, Inji and Red 11 on DP, Shadow Arts Thief. oRNG Logo Syndroneer playing DP, Shadow Arts Thief as well, and Denchineer playing... sorry, Denchineer, wow, haven't had that for a while. Dagger Elementalists, of course, going with the Fire Trait line, Tage playing Bunker Guardian, Frey playing on Great Sword Warrior with the Hammer and Rampage, of course, and then Frostball playing on Mesmer. Shatter build.
Honestly, from the last game, I would love to see a statistic to see how many of those points were made by just kills from oRNG. Because we had the winning team fights. We always had
they didn't get any points from the kills because they didn't kill them. And they just put them in a down state.
Okay. Well, in the beginning.
Yeah.
But after that, it was just always people down from TCG and the rest of TCG trying to pick up the pieces on the side, which is why it was so close after all. But even with that double cap after almost a team wipe, they were still ahead in points. So it wasn't just that the Lord Rush right now did it. They were ahead anyways, but now let's get into the last game for today. Who is gonna win? oRNG Logo or TCG? Show your support in the chat.
Frey moving to mid, 1v1 versus Lipion here, as well as Tage moving on to point, coming out with the sustain, and we're going to see overall towards the windmill, Frostball being very aggressive towards Texby here, getting a nice shatter off onto Texby, as well as Syndroneer coming out. A good push from those guys. They need to make sure they get that kill quickly, move off from it, and get the cap if they should so wish. So they need to support one of the points where they'll currently be outnumbered. This is a good rotation from oRNG Logo. They're bringing out the warrior damage and the support for him from Tage, because Frey is obviously a little bit more squishy. Denshinier versus oRNG versus Zan. This is actually a fantastic rotation from them. Normally something we would see coming out from TCG. And actually across the map, Lipion really is under pressure. Texby now is going to push Windmill, so they need to decide what they're going to do at this point, oRNG Logo, in terms of defending it, if they want to.
oRNG Logo, I think they're going to go for the +1, yeah, and we already see the move frame moving down to make that 1v1 a 2v1 and a winner. The rest, however, good idea, just completely ignore that windmill and stick with mid. Already position yourself to get into
Zan
to
down,
counter the engagement.
There's no, but now TCG are actually going to be, they're moving straight to Mansion. Oh, they're thinking about it. I think this is too late though. Frey's already taken out Zan. It's too late for TCG, although they're going to be in the 2v2 situation. Lipion trying to get up. Oh, they're actually going to go for the cheeky res here. Are they going to get it? This would be absolutely epic if they do. Frostball moves into the damage. Yeah, indeed.
That's it. Helseth already taken quite the beating, goes in with the portal, and that might be the opportunity. Is anyone else going to come through? We see, Red Levin ported on there already. Tage able to keep that cap for the time being. Syndrina moving in. Helseth needs to be a bit more defensive, moves towards the side note, but this is not the side note to get a decap on. Oh, is that going to be a trebuchet? We haven't seen one in quite a while from these teams.
I don't think so. Oh, actually, over on midpoint, we have seen Lipion going down. And I actually feel like oRNG Logo didn't take down the Elementalist there as quickly as they probably, you know, they were distracting. I think that was inviting the push over towards the Mansion from Helseth and also Lipion, sorry, the Elementalist there to try and get that res. It worked out quite well. I'm not sure if it was actually something they were meant to do on purpose, but it worked out either way. Now we've seen the 2v1 situation versus Zan. I don't like that situation. The thing is, Lipion has moved in to support that. I think, you know, Big Zan could probably hold that 1v2 for a little bit of time. It is the Warrior and the Thief though. But now Frostball's coming in for the extra attack, and Big Zan really close to going down. Vamform comes out. I think they used a lot first. Red Levin comes in for the support, and you know how ballsy Red Levin is for those reses, and they might get him up here. I don't think it's going to happen. Red Levin goes into Vamform now as well. Needs to be careful. He's not moving at all, and he's going to come out of this using that withdraw heal. He's going to be okay. Does stealth.
Red Levin is so... Big Zan is almost up, but now Helseth also ate too much damage to really commit to that. And honestly, I like what oRNG is doing right now. You basically see them moving in and out from the side points, pull back to the midpoint, and then back out to the side point. It's just they judge the engagements well. They don't overcommit to an engagement that was already lost. They leave the fights as soon as they get the hint of, yeah, this is not going well, and just really quick to the next one. Give up the capped point and rather contest the one where you win the fight. Pretty
this is
basic,
good movement,
but you need to do it, and oRNG Logo is doing a textbook execution right now.
I mean, Freylina moving to Warrior as well, it feels like a really, really good choice. It's like bringing out more damage, able to finish these fights a lot quicker. They've still got mobility.
Zan was intense right now.
We've actually seen the Mesmer Thief combo moving over towards Mansion again. He pressurized on Texby, bouncing off that team fight and moving onto a node where there's one TCG member because they've been quite defensive. Thing is, now Syndrina and Frostball are quite split, and Helseth comes back in as well. So they need to make sure they're on the same focus target here. Syndrina is still separating TCG Texby away from Helseth, but they need to be careful. They've actually been very cautious. Good move, and they've actually moved with Tage over towards that windmill node. This is a really good rotation for them. They need to make sure they're going to be okay at mid. Frey is alone. He's aware of the stealth from Helseth. Good line of sight from Frey to survive, but they need to make sure they can keep this. And if oRNG Logo don't get something out of this windmill, like a kill or something, they're going to be outnumbered mid. Tage moved back to mid for the support, as long as with Frostball as well as fast on node, and they're going to maintain control of these two caps.
I think TCG should have maybe committed a bit more to that mid node.
Frey's going to go decap. That's the ultimate cheeky move, but the problem is he's definitely going to, yeah, there you go. Texby moves into mid as he goes for that decap, but actually Helseth might even get on node. Oh, here comes Red Levin as well. I don't think this was a great move for Frey, unfortunately. He's going to really move back towards mid now, surely. No, he's going to stay. He's going to distract. Great Sword knockback comes out from Helseth, but he needs to be very careful here. Red Levin almost takes him down with that burst, and Frey pulling out that Endure Pain. think he's going to lose out here, and I actually think that they're probably going to lose the windmill as well, unless they're very careful. I think Orange Logo probably were a little bit too aggressive.
That might have been a bit much.
I think they didn't need to go for that.
No,
they had the game controlled.
Yeah, they're
going to get free cap.
They were in a good position. Is that actually going to be the 3 cap? Then she's still there to contest something, yeah? But he can't really commit to that fight. Gets rid of the conditions, re-engages, wants that neutral, and we have Frostball coming in from the side, but that's already the down. Then she almost down he goes. Zan with a good amount of damage. We see the portal coming out. Oh, and that's gonna be almost the portal to the decap. Frostball first needs to concentrate on that res. Texby couldn't quite decide if he wants to go for the interrupt or the downstate damage. Almost loses the cap. Needs to be really careful now.
The Orange Logo needs to take control back now. I mean, they've got the kill on Red Levin, that's good. Syndra, yes, they are indeed. Just as I said that. That's you know, whatever. Well, I doubt it. But over here on the mansion now, I just feel like that was a massive mistake moving from mid in a control situation. And that's when, you know, you feel like you can get the decap and you can maybe push it a little bit more, and those risks are sometimes worth taking, but I'm not sure versus TCG how much of that was worth it. Now they've got control of the game again, although I think TCG are forcing them into a situation over in the mansion, and they might regret. Helseth is low HP himself, but Frey brings out that throw rock onto Helseth, and he is eating rock at the moment. He goes down. That was pretty insane damage. Lipion is going to Vapor form back onto Mansion. Orange Logo will start to take another 30, 40, 50-point lead. They can move back towards mid very easily. Actually, Zan and also Red Levin now on node should be okay here. Someone from the blue team can go for a possible decap. Now, this is a good idea for them to do. Syndra can now move to that decap position because Helseth has moved to the Treb out of anything, actually. Good pressure mid from him, but that's decap far.
Where's that trap shooting? Because normally you want to use the trap in mid, if anything. Was he maybe just clearing up that midpoint? We have more option to stay on the side. Because if you want to go for the trap, you also want to go for a big mid engagement, and this was not what we've seen happening right here.
Well, I mean, right there, I think they're trying to open up the point as well. Look at the rotation coming out from Frostball. He's moved out. They've moved out completely that fight. Now Tage can hold mid, and we could probably see Frey maybe moving to mid as well. They're trying to 3v1 here at Mansion. They need to kill Texby quickly or leave someone contesting the point. Frostball moves back to mid as well with Denshi to try and keep this point in their favor. They just need to hold this node. They can't get any decaps here. Zan's being more cautious about Windmill as well, because that's happened. It's not happened that much. I think we'll see Zan push back to mid in a minute. You know, he's going to move now. But this is...
Is he trying to do something with knockbacks? We actually see the knockback. He knocked himself off as well as his target. Tage back on there. Tage and Denshi, of course, a good combination to just stay on the point for ages. And we've got the damage team over on that mansion. I think they want to get Lipion down here. That might be the target. Although Syndra again with busy with Levin on the side.
Frey's got Rampage in a moment. They've got to be careful in this fight. They must know that that's coming out. He's going to pull out. He's not going to pull out the Rampage. He's going to hold it for now.
We already have Texby down. In theory, he doesn't necessarily need to, but he can maybe try to clear up that 1v1 while the rest of the fight is going on. Texby moves over to that midpoint again. We're not going to see a quick decap. No, we're going to see the down of Texby afterwards because he ported into a couple of people. No portal for you this time. Already happened. He's going to go for the hard res. Zan and Levin, and they're going to get him back up.
After Forest, was not expecting this, man. I was not expecting this at all. Like, Orange Logo's rotations now around the map have been quite good, but one of the main reasons is that they've been winning most of these fights. They need to try and support Frey. He's in a lot of trouble over on this mansion. In fact, he will go down. No one fairly tanky is on this node. We've got the offense. Grace Grey knockback comes out. Puts Helseth into Vapor form, actually. Ball comes out from Orange Logo members. I think they're going to escape here over towards mid, although almost. Syndra gets caught out there, but Frey is going to hold the point just while they go back towards the midpoint. We're going to see the res of Syndra here. Are we going to see them push towards Windmill? I don't think so. I think we're going to see them tank this point. Although Frostball and possibly Syndra are going to go for the double team onto Zan, as it would be a good move, which is what they've exactly done here as they start to push towards that node. We're going to need to see some support from TCG, especially Red 11 coming over for the support in the 2v2. They get the decap here. This is definitely over for TCG, although they do pick up that mansion node. 2 points in their favor. They still can come back. It's not out of reach yet.
This is looking good. I'm kind of surprised that we even have the aggression on the mid node. At least Taxby's forcing Tage to stay there, which maybe makes the outside team fights a bit easier for them. Now the double cap is happening. Are they going to go for the aggression again?
But Portal mid comes out from TCG if they roll over this point. But look, they're not guarding mansion point. This is so close to 500 points. TCG need to have men watching this map. Then she's not only going to hold for the decap, he could come full cap probably.
No, they're
going to
win it like this. Yeah. He buys his teammates on the mid node a bit of room. And with that, I think that's already is. As long as they have the mid node, we could almost go ahead and just see a bit of trap action here to keep this. Actually, from both sides. Yeah.
That's a good job from Syndrome jumping on that. Good rotation coming out from the guys going to the side points. Like you said, I mean, the opposite team has got a desperation move to do. You know, they've really got to get the decap. So they're so focused on the decap where Tage is situated. And Tage goes down mid, and they might actually get the decap here if they get down Tage. Nice off drop, puts off the map. Frey's going to go for the res on Frostball. If someone can knock him down off point, they'll get the decap contention on that. But look, Syndrome again going for the decap on Mansion, giving it a little bit of room. But we're going to see a trip shot dropped in from Zan. We've got members down on both teams.
Then she gets the dodge, but he's also not that good. It's only 5 points. There can't be any sum. This is a complete wipe, but it's not going to be the decap fast enough. There we have Vaporform holds the point just by a little bit. And with a full team wipe of Orange Logo, they still clutch the win, make it a 2-1 victory, and bringing home that sweet, sweet money.
Amazing final game.
Surprising victory.
I've got to say, like, Orange Logo's rotations today, I mean, you know, Mesmer, for a start, is helping with that. But the way Syndrome works with Frostball really brings out how good he is as a player. As a duo team member, you can really see it. Like how well he works in that combination. Yeah. Will that be something they be able to bring out in WCS? Will they be able to accentuate that? And I'm excited to see, you know, we've seen TCG beat Orange Logo, we've seen Orange Logo beat TCG. This is Orange Logo without Rom, as you know, and playing a different role potentially, you know. People talking about Rom on Mesmer on his stream, of course. Will he be playing that at WTS? Is it a good idea for that to happen? We'll have to wait and see.
Could be risky to move away from a comfort class.
Indeed. I'm afraid
and it's only 3 weeks to go.
Yes, that's a lot of practice to get in. So, you know, is that something that's going to be possible? We'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, that's it.
That's it. We have the winner for today. Of course, that's not all for today. It's all for the two of us right here. But at 10 p.m. CEST, you can see the NA counterpart of all of this and see if Bjurt might be able to do it again and win the Go4GW2 Cup on the NA side. So just stay on that channel, 10 p.m. CEST, and you're going to witness a bit more of Guild Wars 2 PvP.
Indeed. And yeah, before you go, make sure you check out the facebook.com/ESL Guild Wars 2 channel, which is below where Nick is, and also the Twitter at ESL Guild Wars 2 GW2, sorry, as well, because obviously you will want to know about all the action coming up. There's a weekly cup on Thursday, there's the Go4 on Sunday, and then we will only have one more after next week before we go to WTS. So you want to be watching all these teams, watching all the action that goes on as well. Make sure you follow myself at JebDan and Nick at Chronic Gamer. Otherwise, we've been people casting Guild Wars 2 sPVP on an ESL Sunday, which is what I'm going to call it. That's the new name of this day of the week.
Okay. We're done. We've been people. Goodbye, people. See you next time.